All right, welcome back to Honors Pre-Calculus. This is chapter 1.5, graphs and the graphing utilities. This lesson is basically focusing on x and y intercepts. So let's get started. So x and y intercepts. So let me graph you a function. So if I say a function looks like that, okay, so I'm gonna mark the x-intercepts in red. So this is x-intercepts, okay. All right, so the x-intercepts basically is when y equals to 0, whatever that the x value is, but you know that the y value is 0. And then for the y-intercepts, well, here we only got y-intercept is where the function intersect with the y-axis. This is happening when y equals to 0. Okay, so whatever that the y value is, I know it's going to be a negative. Okay, so with that being said, in order to find out what x-intercept, all you need to do is set y equals to 0. And in order to find out what y-intercept is, just set x equals to 0. Okay, so let's get started with some problems. All right, so the first one. So let's find out the x and y-intercepts. Okay, so y-intercept, you have to set x equals to 0. So y-intercept. So you set x equals to 0. So you have 0 plus 0 plus 2. Okay, so y-intercept is pretty easy. So for the x-intercepts, so you have to factor this because you're going to put y equals to 0. So it's going to be 0 equals to x squared plus 3x plus 2. And then now we're going to further factor this. And then just go on and solve it. So set x plus 2 equal to 0, x plus 1 equals to 0. And then you'll get x equals to negative 2, x equals to negative 1. Okay, so you got the correct way of expressing the x and y intercepts is negative 2, comma 0, negative 1, comma 0. For the y-intercept, I'm going to put 0, comma positive 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and do other ones. Use a different color. All right, so for 17b, for the y-intercept, pretty easy. Just set x equals to 0, so y equals to 0 plus 0 plus 3. So which means that y-intercept equals to 3. So when you express it, 0, comma 3. All right, so for the x-intercepts, you have to set y equals to 0. So y equals 0x squared plus 2x plus 3. And then this is what you have to do. So when you aren't able to factor it, what you can do is you can put in a quadratic formula. Okay, so if you put in a quadratic formula and then you solve for it, I solve for, on the side, I got negative 1 plus minus square root of I, square root of 2 of I. So this is an imaginary. If it's imaginary, it means that there is not going to be x-intercepts on the graph. So no x-intercepts. Okay, you should solve it and then prove it. On number 25, there's 3 parts. Okay, so first thing they want you to do is they want you to graph it. Okay, so you can use your graphing calculator, and you should be able to find out something like this. This is your x-y axis, and then use green. So this is how it looks. Okay, you're gonna find something like that. This is for part A. For part B, you need to identify the x-intercepts. So x-intercepts, using the scientific calculators, you have to round it to 1 decimal place. So this is going to be negative 0.7 It's actually 0.732, but you're just going to round to one decimal place. So that's going to be 0.7 negative, sorry. And then the other side is going to be 2.7 comma 0. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is that you actually have to use algebra to solve for it. Okay, so if you use algebra to solve for it, you're actually just gonna get the same as that negative 0.7 and then 2.7. And then the best way to do this is use quadratic formula. Okay, so let's do that real quick. So quadratic formula, x equals to negative b, so that's negative 2 plus minus square root of b squared plus 4ac. So that's 1 and negative 2. I don't have enough space. Okay, over 2a. So over 2 times 1. And then just go on and solve it. Okay, it's going to keep the video short. So if you solve it, you should be able to get 1 plus minus square root of 3. Okay, so this is basically giving you that 2.73, that's the point right here, or x equals to negative 0.73, that's the point right here. Okay, so you just have to use the quadratic formula to show me the answer. Number 27, so I'm going to do the same thing over here. So first of all, let's graph it. I'm not going to make the same mistake. I make the graph a little smaller. And then I'm going to I'm going to go ahead and use graphing calculators. Actually, I don't have a graphing calculator. You can just go onto the website and the website I use is called the Desmos. Okay, and then just go ahead and use that. And then type in your function, you should be able to get this. Okay, so you got the 3 points. Okay, you can actually identify those 3 points just by clicking on it. So you get 1.58. Okay, so you have to round it to the only one decimal place. So it's going to be 1.6 comma 0 for that point. And this point right here is 0, 0. This one is easy. And this one right here is going to be negative 1.6 comma 0. Okay, so basically what you're going to do next, I just did part A and part B. Next thing you want to do is use factoring method to solve. So in order to find out the x-intercept, you have to sub in 0 into y, right? So 0 equals to 2x cubed minus 5x, and then factor out the x first. So I'll be 2x squared minus 5. Okay, so 0 equals 2. Let's factor out even more. Actually, you know what? You know that you can set this equal to 0, set this equal to 0. So you already know that one of the x-intercepts is 0, 0. Okay, because of that one. Let me use a different color to show you. So for that one, this is 0, 0. That's for this point right here. Next thing I want to do is just solve for x squared minus 5 equals to 0. Okay, add 5 on both sides. 2x squared equals to 5. X squared equals to 5 over 2. Okay, and then you just square root both sides. So your x is going to equal to rationalize that. It's going to be square root 10 over 2. Okay, square root 10 over 2 is actually going to be 1.6. Okay, I'm sorry, I've got to put the plus minus in front. Okay, so that's how you do all those 3 problems. And that's it for this lesson. Take care.